The kicker of the whole thing was that Merrick Garland, at the end, had to review the plea deal that the judge threw out. He had to see, and he's a former judge, this absurd clause in the plea deal that said, well, federal government can never charge Hunter Biden with anything ever again, no matter what he does. And so for him, Garland, to say that, oh, I didn't have anything to do with it, I didn't intrude, he had to see that. And that angered me because I thought that was deceptive, that Garland, I have said this, he willfully, as you put it, didn't want to know anything. But at the end, he knew the fix was in, and he's being deceptive, and he's throwing Weiss under the bus. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I'm not sure he had to see it. I know Weiss did. You know, Weiss was ultimately responsible for
on a case this big, though, Senator. You don't think the Attorney General of the United States is going to know what the president's son is going to be charged with? Come on, he has to know.
Again, you would think so. I agree with that assessment. But Weiss certainly was in charge of it. You know, he's responsible for that sleazy plea agreement. And then what Merrick Garland for sure was responsible for was appointing the least independent human being on planet Earth to be the special counsel. Yeah. And if there's one requirement of a special counsel, it needs to be independent. David Weiss was not independent. He's the guy that allowed the statute of limitations to run out
and all
serious tax charges.
And that's just another facet. But here's another deception by the Attorney General. Estrada in California, U.S. Attorney, Graves in D.C., U.S. Attorney, wouldn't cooperate with David Weiss. They just wouldn't partner up with him. Garland could have ordered them to do it, and he did not.
He could have, and we also had an FBI whistleblower saying that Weiss's office didn't have the resources to do a proper investigation. I always assumed that whistleblower was talking about resources in the Delaware office. This may have been expanded to the fact that he didn't have access to the resources in California and D.C. to actually do the prosecution. Again, it's just a great big finger-pointing exercise, and I think it's a purposeful finger-pointing exercise so they could all evade the responsibility of doing their job and actually instituting equal justice under the law and
that's corruption.
Obvious tax evasion.
That's corruption. There's no doubt about it. The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped a whopping 20%. 2023 could be worse. You are right to be worried. So call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I've been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers and have the highest rating in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532.
Bill O'Reilly is back on TV and only on The First. No Spin News, every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on The First.